What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we're over here at Randy's. We got Randy over here. What's up, Randy?
What's up, man?
He's somewhere in this area. So we're over here. We just got over here to his house, and we are racing season's over. So we are going to be working on his just a few minutes today. One of the things with his car, methanol, billet atomizer injectors. Methanol is hard on fuel systems. It's hard on fuel pumps. It's hard on the motor. It dries out all the oil. It's especially hard on billet atomizers because the injectors, the orifices are so small. My car really doesn't have that problem with that big hose pipe injector, and I plan on running mine all the way forever. I don't ever plan on stopping racing mine. Mine's gonna have like a week or two downtime for the winter. Randy's is probably gonna have about 2 months of downtime. So two options: get all the fuel out of the system, get the injectors out of it, spray everything down with WD-40 every week or so, come out here, roll the motor over, get it so that it's, you know, everything's nice and lubricated, get oil on everything. Or the other option is drain all the methanol out, put gasoline in it, build a gasoline tune so that we crank the thing up on gasoline, and every week or every 2 weeks it comes out here, fires the motor over, it's got gas in it, injectors are happy, the fuel pump's happy because that's got lubricating properties, the bores are happy, the cylinder rings are happy, everything is happier on gasoline. So that's what we're going to do. So I've already built the tune. There's a lot to it. I'm gonna show you a little bit on the computer what I did on his, and we'll see if it cranks up or not. But basically, I went in and I took the fuel tables, modified the fuel tables. Man, we got skeeters out. It's so warm in North Carolina. There's a skeeter flying around my head. He's trying to get me, but I didn't let him get me. But we're gonna put the gas tune in it, and we modified everything in the fuel circuit. Didn't really do anything on the spark side, just the fuel side. So acceleration circuit, main fuel table, starting fuel, all that stuff we changed. Now I still got belt drive, so we'll see if it works. I don't know if it works. It's still, usually when I do this, I'm not very good at it, and it'll stumble, blah, 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 blah. And we end up having to put, change the plugs in it at the beginning of the year, but that's okay. So if it slows them up, we ain't really worried about it. We're just trying to conserve it, make it easier for us in the off season.
Fuel pump?
Right, oh yeah.
It's like a fire hose.
So you see Randy's got this high gallon per hour. This is like a 25 gallon per minute pump. That thing pumps a lot of fuel. So what he did, that usually holds a lot of fuel. He basically drained all the fuel out of it, so that methanol is gone. That's was in the tank to the pump here. Now there's still a little bit of residual in the lines up here, but that's going to be okay. Methanol and alcohol is called gasohol. There's a lot of countries that actually use that instead of ethanol and gasoline. They actually blend a little bit of methanol with it. So it'll be fine for what we're doing for these purposes. So let me show you what I've done in the, man, it smells just like gas. This is what, gas is for washing parts. It feels like we just washed some parts. And that gas is for washing parts. Alcohol is for drinking. Nitro is for drag racing. So here you go, see? I've already got my tune built. We got his gasoline tune. And so what I did is I need to send this to the ECU. You got a power on? Yep. Power's on. Power on's ignition's on. So now I'm gonna send this. You see the fuel and the system is the thing is different. The only thing I changed in the system was I went from methanol to gasoline. All right, Randy, turn that ignition off again real fast. Turn it off and then pop it back on. So I'll cycle the ignition. So this is all I did. So in the engine parameters, I went in there and turned it from methanol to gasoline. And then in the fuel table itself, I just went in here and changed all this. So what I did is I took out a lot of fuel. And this may be too much. I took out like 70-80%. Basically, I hit control and the left arrow, and that's 5% each time I hit it. And I hit it a whole bunch of times. I was like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I went up to 75 or 80. I don't remember which one it was, 70. And then the numbers, I was just basically looking, this is where it's going to be right here in this little box. So I just looked at these numbers until I got these numbers down to what I, pretty sure is going to be pretty good. fuel table, main fuel table. What I did is the target air fuel ratio, I just went in there and changed that. I mean, we're never going to run this up here, but it just, it's just easier to just change it all since I'm changing everything. So I changed that. Acceleration circuit, this went way down again. Basically, this is like your pump squirter. So basically, I just took this way down. I don't really care if it takes the gas real good or not. I mean, we're not interested in that necessarily. And then the startup enrichment, I just took this and went way down on this as well. And it's just a guess. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna do good or not. It may fire right off. It may not crank off. These skeeters are on my legs over here. Okay, we probably do need to hit it with brake clean. Or I don't think it's going. It might have starting fuel. Well, yeah. Let's hit it with brake clean because it's still got a little bit of methanol in the lines. So with a little bit of methanol in the lines, that's just not gonna be the proper settings for over here. So we're gonna try to crank it up real fast. All we're trying to do is get it to crank up, get the alcohol to mix with the gasoline, make it so the gasoline oils, lubricates all the cylinders, the rings, all the fuel pump, all the injectors, and then that way, in next week when he comes out here, he can hopefully just reach down there and just hit the key and fire it right up. I don't know if he'll be able to do that or not, but at least it'll have alcohol displaced, and it will have gasoline in there, keeping everything happy for the winter. Okay, so we just hit it with brake clean, fired over, and let's see if it cranks. Might need to give it a little bit of gas to get the brake clean in there. Okay. Might need a little bit more brake clean. Let me squirt it in the blow-off valve here. Right for like 3 seconds in that line. I'm gonna blow on the line. Blow to get it all in the intake. Now get it directly into the engine. All right, let's hit it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I think we need a little bit more fuel. I think I took too much out. Okay, so we got cranked up. I ended up having to make it quite a bit richer. I went way too lean, but that's okay. I mean, it is cranking up, and let's see if we can get it to run real fast. It's still way lean. It needs a bunch. This big motor is rowdy. It needs a bunch of fuel. Okay. I completely missed it. I'm gonna have to add a whole bunch more. Okay guys, so we did end up getting this thing cranked up and it drove into trailer. It was not a very happy camper, but this is the fuel map that it ended up doing. And when you do the math based on what it was on methanol, it looks like it was about 50% less fuel. So I took way too much fuel out of it. I took 70 or 80% out of it everywhere, and that was just wrong. And so that's why this thing was not running good. So this thing, here we go, it's going into winter storage for a month or so. So we're going to just let it sit. May pull the motor out and just make sure everything is good and go through everything, just make sure everything's okay. We did have a strap on early Saturday on cylinder number 5. It ended up starting to melt just a little bit. I put some fuel in that hole, 5% more, and the next passes it was fine, but the motor, it was really cold when we were pulling it, when we were doing this gas tune. The motor was really cold. So it's making a little bit of noise. I don't know if it's normal noise, but we're going to probably pull it out just to be safe, just to make sure we don't see anything crazy. I mean, there's a chance when it nipped the plug that it started lifting the ring land on the piston. I mean, we're asking this thing to make a bunch of power. Air fuel ratio was nice and safe. All the other plugs looked good. It was 3.4, 3.5 air fuel ratio with like 17 degrees of timing. All the other plugs look good. So, I mean, I don't know if maybe we got an injector going down. Once I added fuel to that hole, everything seemed fine. The other passes, but, you know, the damage could be done. Or it may be fine. But anyway, this is what we're doing. Winter storage for a month or so. Y'all comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all soon.